Yeah, AI is really interesting, and we're all kind of enthralled by what's going on in that space right now. I would say that it's a tool. It's not replacing anybody. I think there's a lot of fear around that. It is a machine learning model. It can tell you what is maximum likelihood, right? And even like in ChatGPT, where you have billions of parameters, all it's doing is it's saying, well, given these inputs, given my prompts, this is the most likely result of that. It's all, at the end of the day, regression is just done on a massive scale, right? It's pattern matching. That's all it can do, is pattern matching. It doesn't understand meaning. It doesn't understand causes. It doesn't understand anything. It's just a machine giving you the most likely answer given what you've given it. That's all it is. In terms of systems and improvement and things like that, I think if we think about it as a tool, yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff out there and people are already starting to apply it to do some amazing things. The customer intelligence space is really interesting, where using AI machine learnings, where there's all this data that's happening. We're having this conversation, we're looking at each other, we're listening to each other's voices, and below our conscious awareness is tons and tons of data, things about tone and what words we're using and what's our body language, and even our pupils, and are they dilating when we're talking about this. That is all information that says something about what's really going on. And when you have these systems that can go through an incredible scale and say, hey, you know what? Kevin was really the dominant player in this conversation, and he's got a really great relationship with Roman. And because of the language they use together is different from the language they use with Ed. And it's fascinating when you really start breaking that down. And AI and machine learning can derive all that and hold it up and say, did you know this was really going on? For example, I sold for a number of years at HP. And when I was a new sales rep out in the field, my district manager would ride along with me on sales calls, right? He was developing me into a better salesperson. And, I remember distinctly, there were times I would go into these sales calls and I'd have my demo and presentation and all this stuff going. And he would just kind of observe everything that was going on. And we'd get back in the car and he says, yeah, they're not buying. And I was like, what? They were all over. He says, no, you didn't see this. The guy that came in later on, he was that guy's boss. And they sat down, they had a little conversation. You got up and walked out. They're not buying. So he was observing things that I wasn't aware of because I was so focused on my thing, right? Yep. So imagine doing that now with technology. That is incredibly powerful. And things like Gong and some of these other customer intelligence things are being able to do that. So that's amazing. That's really incredible. And you've got insight into factors that you never would have thought about. So that to me is really exciting when we think about machine learning, AI, those kinds of things. There's applications of that gives us not only opportunities to automate, but to see things we've never seen before, which can help us then better predict outcomes.